Hey everyone, today we're going to do this beautiful bench and plant box. These are treated 1x4s and 1x3s, pre-cut into 8-foot lengths. Here I'm marking up the measurements for the framing and the vertical slats. After this I can just simply copy the markings from the first board to the next, but making sure that it's absolutely parallel. I'm using my table saw with a cross-cut sled so it's more accurate when I'm doing my cuts. This way there will be less gaps when I started to join them together. To cover for the two plant boxes, I bought 10 lengths of 1x4s and 4 lengths of 1x3s, all 16-foot lengths. So it cost me around €65 on timber. Take note of the measurement per board. This is the part where I'm going to assemble the top and the bottom frame. Also keep an eye on the two boards that is on the top and the bottom of the screen. They're a bit longer than the rest of the boards. The overlap will be used for screwing the frame together later on, so you'll see what I mean when we get there. So after dry fitting them, I can start gluing now. We need the 1x4 and 1x3 together of the same length. In here I'm using the clamps to keep the timber together until the glue dries up. When everything has dried up, you can start putting the screw on. Now all four sides have been screwed on. Now we're just going to dry fit them again. These are the two boards that I was saying to you earlier. These are the sides where we are going to nail them on. I'm just adding on some nails in here so it'll be a bit more stronger. So we have them all completed now, and we can add some pocket holes. We're nearly ready now on assembling it. So, but first we have to chamfer the edges, so it's going to be a little bit more smoother to touch. Also, we're going to plane the top part of it, so it'll have a finished look on it too. So the top and the bottom frames are done now. And next step is to put on the vertical slats. We're just going to pair up the top and the bottom parts of each side here, so later on it won't be confusing. First pair of one of the sides. So these are the 1x4s that I've cut earlier, approximately around 4 to 5 boards for each side. I've overdone this, so I'm short a little bit there, so there's a tiny bit of a gap. Now I'm just going to cut off one of the boards just to fill up that gap. I'm using a nail gun here to hold them up together, so they're for the both of the inside and the outside part of the sides. All four sides are done, so we're good to go on putting on the screws. I'm using these clamps just to hold the pieces together for now. If you have someone to help you, it'll be fine. I'm using 50 mil of the normal screws in here, but I would suggest using some decking screws instead. Also nail the corners so it'll add a little bit of support onto it. Now we're going to turn it over and we're going to do the bottom part. Do the same again, clamp it on, screws onto the pocket holes, and then use the nail gun for the sides and the corners. In here we're going to install the baseboards for the pots. I'm making a couple of braces to hold on the boards. It depends how deep are your pots. Mine is pretty shallow, so I'm making them just above midway. I have these offcuts as my base, and I have them an inch apart just for when I'm watering the plants, water would go through. Just to do a bit of sanding, I'm using 120 grit just to get rid of some rough parts of it to prevent some splinters. For the bench, I have this treated 2x4s and I'm just going to cut them in 5-foot lengths. Then I'm only going to plane the top side and the two sides of it. And now I'm using the router to round the edges. To hold up the bench, I'm using two of these 1x4s and screw them on onto the side of each plant box. We're going to be drilling a couple of pocket holes at each end, and we're going to be using 60 millimeters of the galvanized decking screws to attach them. Now the bench is done. I'm going to leave the painting to my daughter.
Bye.
And there it is, the finished project of the bench and plant box. Thanks for watching everyone, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks.